Okay, how we doing? I'm going to give you a little video here. We're going to use some electrical wire. I'm going to show you how to strip and cut it and curl it. And we'll just get going here. First thing I want you to know is that if you look at these pliers, they have numbers right there. And those numbers correspond to the correct size of the wire. What you have to do, most of the times in electrical wiring, we'll be using 12 gauge or 14 gauge, and the number has to do with the size of the wire. The smaller the number, the bigger the gauge, the thicker around it is. This one, more than likely, is probably in that 12 to 14 range there, if you can see that right there on your pliers. Then you do it, swing it around a couple times, pull it off, and look at that. We got a bare end, okay? This also has a cutter on it, just like that. We cut it off. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you home a piece of wiring, just like these here, and I'm going to have you do some practicing with it. The first thing I want you to do is practice stripping the wires. Now, what we do is we want to come down about 3/4 of an inch, to an inch at the most. But 3/4 of an inch, and you get good at guessing that. You can take a tape measure out if you want to. You can guess, but what we have to do is we have to come down about 3/4 of an inch. Wiggle it like that in the proper gauge, 12-14. Look at that. There we go. And what you're going to do is cut that off. Do that again. Slip it in again, looking for the numbers where it says 12-14 on 12 on one side, 14 on the other. You're going to slide it in there, come down about 3/4 of an inch, rotate, pull, cut it off. Save the little copper piece. Okay, if I can get it off here. Save this little piece for each of your cuts. At the end, I want you to line them up, take a picture of it, and see how uniform you were. Okay, so again, come down, strip it. This one's a little bit longer, but it's still okay to use. All right. So that's with one piece of wire. I want you to do that down about as far as you can go, cutting 3/4 of an inch at a time. Okay, cut it, or not cut it, but strip it, peel it, and then cut it off so you can have another go at it. All right. So here we go. We're going to cut that off. And we'll line it up with our others. Again, at the end, I want you to line your pieces up to see how uniform they were. Okay? I'm leaving mine there. Maybe take a picture at the end and show you that. You're going to get another piece of wire. All right? Now, we're going to put a little hook at the end of the wire after we cut it and strip it. So on this one, you're going to come down about, you're going to find the 12-14 side of your pliers, slide it in there, come down about 1/2 inch, rotate, strip it, then, oops, I locked my pliers here. You got one of two ways. We got to put a little hook at the end, all right? You'll notice these little slots in here, these little holes at the bottom of the, next to the cutting edge of the pliers at the bottom of the pliers themselves. What you're going to do, stick the wire in so it just sticks above there a little bit. Can I say a 1/16? I usually get a little more than that. I just have to be able to hook it. If I lose the hook, I readjust. And then I turn it, and I have a hook. Now, ideally, you want the bottom of the hook to be even with the cutoff of the wire there. I adjusted that a little bit, and that's pretty good right there. Okay? That's your hook at the end of the wire. You'll see later on that we use this hook to put it on an outlet and screw it in, and it's easier to do it with that when we've made that hook. Then I want you to cut that off and try it again. So you come down here about 3/4 of an inch in the 12-14 part of your strippers, strip it off, slide it in, make your curly cue. Okay? Again, I might pinch mine a little more here. But if I look at that, that's about what I want. That right there. I'm a little lower than the cutoff part of the wire here, but I think I can live with that. Then I want you to cut that off. So you see what we're doing here, we're practicing and we're comparing, okay? So I got my hooks hanging right there, and I'm going to do that again. Find my 12-14, slide it in, rotate, strip it, poke it through just a little bit, just enough over, make your curly cue, okay? If you need to pinch it a little more, that's a little wide. If you see that, that's just a little wide there. So I'm going to pinch that a little bit. There. Now I feel better about it. When we get to hooking this up to an outlet and a switch and a light, you'll understand why we do this. And then we cut that off. Okay? All right? Then what I want you to do is you'll get a side cutters too. This is a side cutter or box cutter here. And you'll get a piece of wire like this. This is Romex. This coating, this white coating is Romex. To get to the wires, we have to be back. We have to strip the Romex off to get to the wires that inside look like this, plus 1 ground. Okay? So what we do is we come down. I'm going to have you grab the end like this and hold that right there, and that's where you're going to cut open. And I'm sorry, we might get this in over here. Here we go. We take our blade, we open it up, we put it right down the middle of that Romex and just slightly crease it. And you'll find it there, the wire peel, the coating, Romex coating peels back, and these little cardboard papers will peel back. Okay? Once I get that, I have my bare wire, my black and my white out here, and my Romex and my cardboard here. I'm going to hold it just like this, cut this off, set it aside. Now what I'd like you to do is take each of these 3 and practice your stripping and curling again. Okay? Strip it, poke it through, oops, missed it, curl it, check it. See if the bottom of the wire lines up with the bottom of your cut. Again, I have a tendency to go a little long on that, so I'll try to get a little better on the next one. Do the same thing with the white wire. Pinch it a little bit. There we go. We've made our nice little hook on the black and the white. Now we go to the bare wire. This one, obviously there's no coating, so we're fine. All right? Once you get done with that, cut the 3 off and do it again. Grip it from the top, hold your mark, switch hands, lay it flat. This will be flat. Cut it open, always cut away from your thumb, not towards you, away from you and away from your thumb. Peel back the cardboard and the Romex. Oops, I got things a little tangled here. I'll just rip the cardboard off. Peel back the cardboard and the Romex. Hold it. Waste. Do the same thing. Strip. Curl. Oops. There. Again, if you have to, you want it maybe a little, see how that's a little wide there? We want to pinch that. There. White wire. Lay it in. Curl it. Pinch it. And then the bare wire. And it is copper, so it is pliable, so you can bend it, but you don't want to over bend it because sometimes it gets weak. And what the last thing you want is a copper wire to break off where it's connecting to the outlet or the light switch. Then you've got a problem. Then you've got to go in and fix that. Cut these off, save them. Do another round. Okay? I'll get the materials up there at the entrance to the high school, and then I'll have you guys work on that. But that's one thing I want you to do this week. Thank you.